Hello everyone and welcome to a new ATFX video. My name is Gonzalo Canete and I'm here one more time to share with you a quick view of, in this occasion, cryptocurrencies. We're going to focus this analysis on Bitcoin and Ethereum as the heads of this market, the top two assets from the cryptocurrency assets. And I want to analyze with you what exactly is the projection of this for the future, what was exactly the impact this market got after the drop, after the quick crash we have seen in Japanese market. And the main question that all investors are making themselves right now is this the end, or it's actually going to continue moving in advance? Please remember one more time, if you are not subscribed to our channel, let me request you kindly to give us thumb up if you like the content, and also subscribe and click on the bell to receive notifications anytime we update something new in our channel, particularly anytime we update new content for keep you updated. Go to the point. Cryptocurrency market, current situation, challenge, and future projects. This is the main focus I want to do. And remember, one more time, remember, by the end, also technical analysis with the charts and the most significant prices. So I want to focus this in the last movement we have seen on the market. So mainly I was just making the introduction. So the cryptocurrency market has experienced significant developments by Ethereum and Bitcoin leading the way. We also want to see that is Ethereum the main one who is applying certain chains in relation, for example, the scalability, how they try to make it more friendly for users, and also what is the main projects they got. Not even that, also including the liquidity has been running inside of this asset by the new ETFs open, accepting Ethereum, and we're going to also study the movements by the main players on the crypto, institutional players on the crypto market by these ETFs. Well, challenge faced by the industry, future projects, and could shape the trajectory. We will also provide information to investors navigating this dynamic landscape. Let's go to the first point: Ethereum, Bitcoin, and cryptocurrency market. Well, starting by the Ethereum, significant net influence, 49 millions despite 20% drop. We're talking about the massive drop we have seen in the market recently, with the Japanese market following that Black Monday recently. And regardless, the end of this or the result of these drops, it was actually a net income of 49 millions back to the market capitalization of Ethereum. So after all, after the drop of 20% in net terms, we have seen how more money is flowing into the Ethereum, into this asset. High demand indicates by ETFs trading volume exceeds 715 million. So still, and I take few notes here to clarify a few things, but 750 millions in volume transact on ETFs, on Ethereum, but also we get a liquidation on futures on Ethereum of 340 millions, which is something I didn't include there, but it's very interesting to analyze that. Still, the business is growing still, regardless what's the position from institutionals, regardless what's the position from authorities, regardless what the position from private investors. The market, the business, the asset is keep growing and evolving and getting stronger. Major inflow lead by BlackRock's ETHA ETF with 47 millions. Not only that, I think in the case of Bitcoin ETF, just to let you know, 1,300 millions were moving to the ETF. So it's massive. We also got successful launch of the US Bitcoin spot ETF with 1.3 billions in the first hour, 1.3 billions on volume, the first hour of transactions on this new ETF on Bitcoin. But still good results for the BlackRock's ETF on Ethereum with 47 millions achieved. Bitcoin price recovered from 50Ks. We're going to analyze later that level on the chart to 44, 600, $750 per Bitcoin. And still, we need to pay attention to the next levels because it's not completely roll out the possibilities that is dropping back again. But what we can see in my eyes, in my opinion, is a consolidation of the price, which is still good because any of those drops can give more opportunities to hold, to enter, to grab some new Bitcoins from your portfolio and grab them at a good price. Coinbase remains the largest Bitcoin stock by market capitalization, 49 billions in market capitalization. Remember, one of the strategies for specifically for those investors who doesn't want to be holding these kind of assets because they believe they're so volatile and they doesn't really understand what is the factors moving the underlying asset, which is this Bitcoin, this Ethereum, or they even just simply concerned about the regulation. They could always took as an option to get exposed to these kind of assets only by buying the companies who are making business with them. It's exactly the same case with commodities. Instead of buy gold, instead of buy oil, you basically buy the companies who are mining or the companies who are exporting or producing gas oil, gas, liquid gas, and so on. So it's another way to expose yourself to this asset without being in these assets. Now, cryptocurrency market, sharp rebound, Bitcoin and Ethereum leading the recovery. And again, we got the example of those ETFs, the ETF by BlackRock on Ethereum, gaining 49 millions in net inflows, was regardless the sales. At the end of the day, 49 millions are coming in. Successful launch of US Bitcoin spot ETF with 1.3 billion on volume the first hour. Main challenge we have faced on these assets: scalability and high fees. This is the exactly same in the early days. In the case of Ethereum growth is either by scalability issues and high fees, which limits adoption in emerging markets. Still, that's the main challenge also for Bitcoin. The consumption of electricity in the case of Bitcoin, the proof of work, the proof of staking they are trying to use to sweep or change the way this technology works. But we also got the market volatility has another challenge. Algorithmic selling and low liquidity periods are causing significant price drops. Geopolitical and economic headwinds are amplifying price impacts. This is two things, different things. For in one side, algo trading, which is basically we're talking about high technology assets, and therefore those ones who are more familiar with this kind of assets are the ones who usually going to use technology to trade on those assets. So algorithmic trading is really common and extent, particularly in cryptocurrencies. And also the fact that they are 24/7 open, which means like even during the weekends, good news, they are open, which reduce the volatility. But in the other hand, as any other market, during the weekend is less volume, and therefore they are more sensible for potential increase in volatility in any case. Now, in terms of regulatory environment, there is a need for a balanced approach between infrastructure investment and providing applications commercial success. So one thing is this infrastructure investments. The other thing is how you can apply this for commercial success. And I will even include here the geopolitical risk we were mentioning 1 minute ago, because just to keep in mind, for example, when the sanctions were activated against Russia, one of the main things that it was motivating this asset, in the case of this topic, it was Bitcoin. It was the fact that Russia was admitting that, well, we are not accepting dollars anymore in our trade deals, especially when we export energy, but we could even accept Bitcoin as a currency selling and exporting energy. When one of the main exporters of energy in the world is telling you they are gonna replace dollars by Bitcoin in exportation, it means a significant change in the game, right? At least the intention is pointing a very completely different direction. Now, future projects and innovations, scaling solutions. Ethereum is involving with solutions like roll-ups to handle complex transactions. These include enhancing data availability and settlements layers. Stable coins and financial inclusion. Stable coins are facilitating everyday transactions and banking the unbanked. So stable coins are going to be, I will say, the transition chain between 100% pure blockchain and the financial system. The tokenization of real world asset is boosting global financial inclusions, which means we are going to, the evolution of the world is going to digitalize absolutely everything, including those assets that we have in the real world, to replace them or to represent them in this digital world by blockchain, which it could be not necessarily the asset, just the title or right on those assets. Like, for example, these blockchain solutions apply to real estate markets. User experience improvement. This is another topic. We need to educate the people who are actually still out of the system and doesn't understand this. But the authorities even are working on this direction, because CBDC is actually the next step that central banks and monetary policy makers are actually walking through. And I believe they're going to start to introduce in the society the CBDC, the electro crypto wallets to hold those CBDCs. And therefore, at the end of the day, the same road is leading you to Bitcoin or Ethereum. And it's what happens with Naira in Africa with the new projects in Nigeria with these things. Advancing account abstraction and simplify user experience, or making Ethereum more accessible to the mainstream, obviously. And yeah, conclusions. Market outlook. Yes, the pre-screen before the charts, because I know most of you want to just go to the price and say, okay, but what I should buy this, what I should sell this. Remember, this is not advice of any kind. I'm just going to share with you the information, and then you decide what you want to do with your home money. My advice in any case is just you consult first a financial advisor before any decision you're taking. Market outlook. Cautiously optimistic sentiment with global monetary conditions supportive for stabilization. High liquidations indicate market remains volatile in near term. Obviously, we have seen that volatility increasing with this Black Monday on Japanese market. Recommendation for investors. Remember, this is not recommendation, just information, but we are not actually providing any kind of financial advice here. Consider regulation crypto stocks for exposure to blockchain sector. So instead of invest directly on Bitcoin, you can invest in companies who are developing this kind of technology, which is Coinbase, the main American crypto broker, which is actually taking all the steps to be a crypto bank, because they are offering almost all financial services as a commercial bank. Look for opportunities during market downturns for long-term gains. Exactly. We are not saying here like you should buy or sell constantly, because that is really complex and dangerous. Simply, if you see that historical levels are get touched, then it's a good opportunity to hold certain capital on this kind of assets. Monitor algorithmic trading impacts and geopolitical developments. Be careful with the algorithmic trading, and also be careful with the decisions taken by geopolitical perspective. Future potential, addressing scalability and economic alignments with the ecosystem. This is a very important topic, because right now we have seen how all the economic policies are turning to the green policies. And therefore, this solution has to be in line with this. Otherwise, they're going to face certain barriers by the government and by the regulation and policies, right? Continue support from institutional investors and innovation in scaling solutions. Institutional investors have seen here one opportunity of a new asset, and therefore we have seen they have been baking up this project, this kind of assets, the blockchain in general terms. And therefore, as far as these big players like BlackRock are actually betting for this kind of asset, it means like the market is still running. Now, let's go to the charts and let's analyze the prices. As you can see, let me make some zoom here, but I think it's pretty clear on the chart. You have seen this channel, bear channel, but in a long term, is actually in a strong movement of the Bitcoin. So we have seen how Bitcoin was retracement little by little in 3 occasions, 1, 2, 3, with strong corrections. But still, $50,000 seems to be a clear support on the market, and therefore we just believe that in that case, the $50,000 is the base. And as you can see, as far as the Bitcoin was losing $50,000, a lot of money was running in and pushing the price back again to the higher levels. So in my opinion, $64,000 is going to be another barrier on that price. But the main goal is just $72,000, $75,000 as the new maximum resistance to break out. So that's the way I believe, if the markets keep stable, that's the way I believe the Bitcoin is going to move. We also here in long term, in a very long term, you can see that actually the movement is not a bearish movement. It's actually a super bullish movement. And therefore, we could expect that at the end of the day, still the market want to attack the barriers. We got 3 tops here. We also got 2 or 3 supports. And now the question is, are we going to attack these supports in new resistance in $64,000? Are we going to attack $72,000, $70,000? Are we actually going to move forward to $75,000? That's the main question. But so far, Bitcoin is not a weak asset right now. It doesn't show like an extreme volatility. Take a look to other like Nasdaq, and you will see that they are moving also aggressively after these movements in Japan. Now, Ethereum. Let's take a look to Ethereum because it's a different story, but similar somehow. We can see that in $2,600 seems to be a clear support. The price is not still, the Ethereum is not still there. So still need to conquer those levels. By the time I'm doing this video, it's still quoting below $2,600. And that's why I believe in the case of Ethereum, we need to see the Ethereum consolidated the price about 2,500, 2,600 to start to talk about clear support. So far, is in these levels, and it could even keep moving downwards and therefore to a lowest level. So only when we see that price is consolidated, we can start to trust. In long term, the picture changed a little bit, but still we need those $2,600 because otherwise you will see that this is actually a problem on the market. We need to the price show clearly the next candles above those levels and start to move in this area to trust in a bullish movement in this case. Remember, if you like this content, give me the thumb up and leave me your comments if you want to suggest any other topics you would like to know or any question related with this topic. And I hope to see you in the next videos. Take care.